guys, just a reminder before you get into the show that we have merchandise, yes. And you can find it on our Uglee Truth website. There's a little tab, you can click on it, and then you can peruse to see all of our styles. You can grab a mug or a sticker. We have hoodies and t-shirts. Pretty much anything you would want to show your pride for being an Uglee Truth listener. Thank you so much for supporting us. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Uglee Truth. This is a mini-sode with Jamie and her very famous, accomplished podcasting son, Tyler, here to shamelessly plug middle class film class.
Yeah, it's a little tongue twister right there.
A little tongue twister. Middle class film class. And so, hello, Tyler. Welcome to a mini episode of The Uglee Truth. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the theaters. How have you been handling the pandemic, Tyler? Because I have no idea. How have you been handling for the last year?
Mostly just staying indoors.
Yes.
And watching reruns of Golden Girls, X-Files. And you would think that because I'm on a movie podcast, I'm watching new movies. No, I leave that to my other co-hosts.
So you just come in with your little, I watched Rocky again, and
I'm just the straw that stirs the drink of our show.
Hey, so am I. That's what I've been told anyway.
I put in effort, obviously, but
Yes.
At the same time, though, sometimes, I need to watch things that make me feel comfortable. So if I'm gonna rewatch the first 4 seasons of the X-Files for the 59th time again, that's what I'm gonna do. But that's not to say I do watch new movies.
Yes.
So.
I will say this. There's this thing going around on social media that says if you rather watch the same movie or television show repeatedly, that it's a sign of mental illness. It is not a sign of mental illness.
Well, I don't know. I'm no expert, but it might.
No, what they say is, because like a lot of us, we all suffer from some form of anxiety. And they say that watching those shows, it is comforting because you don't have the anxiety of not knowing what's going to happen. You know exactly what's going to happen because you've seen it 100 times. And so you don't stress like, I don't know who's going to make it at the end, or I don't know who's going to leave, or so it's comforting. It's almost like comfort food.
Yeah.
For the soul.
I would agree with that too. Whether or not that's an indication of mental illness, I'll leave that up for the doctors to decide. But for me, the only reason why I watch these old shows like on repeat is just because they're genuinely good.
Yeah, they are good.
They're just, it's entertaining.
I will, for the record, publicly, and I won't ever say it again, you and all the other horrible people in my house ruthlessly bullied me for watching Golden Girls. And now, apparently, everyone loves the Golden Girls.
It's come full circle. But, really, you can't appreciate the Golden Girls with a young eye. Like, you're not gonna find any high schooler who's gonna say, "Oh, I love the Golden Girls."
Well, not publicly anyway.
Not even publicly. No, I feel like there's a level of maturity that you need to understand about living in the real life.
And a lot of sarcasm, and sarcasm does go over children's heads. Right. That is true. Yeah, so that when you start getting into designing women and those shows, then we'll have to have a talk.
Okay.
Hey, Delta Burke is a treasure.
We can do that. But I'm here to shamelessly plug my show.
Shamelessly plug.
So right now,
Middle Class Film Class, everyone. Weekly shows, right? Once a week?
Sometimes twice a week, and that's why I'm here. So we released an episode. We call it a field trip. Now, normally we would go to the movie theaters and watch this film, and then come back and record like our thoughts. First half is always spoiler free, and then I insist and I demand that we go into spoilers because I feel like I don't feel satisfied reviewing a movie without talking about the whole thing. So we have a new field trip episode reviewing Nomadland.
Is that with Frances McDormand?
I think so. I can't remember the actress's name.
It is
for
her.
the life of me. But
it's her.
Yeah.
Yes. She always plays very uncomfortable women.
Yeah, and yeah, I wouldn't call this movie uncomfortable.
No, her characters tend to be uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, well you could tell she was just uncomfortable with life. But
yeah, she's good at that.
Like obviously, everyone can listen to the episode. I was very lukewarm. I feel like other films did the whole existential losing your home thing better.
Oh, okay.
But it's not to say that it's bad. The cinematography is really great. There's very minimal dialogue, and it's very real life.
Where does it take place? Does it say?
Modern day America.
Oh, just anywhere in America. Oh, okay. Oops.
Not California.
Oh, definitely not. Well, no, she'd be surrounded by tents and ram shanties.
No, it's mostly taking place in Nevada.
Oh, okay. Oh, where there's Arizona. A lot of open air areas. Gotcha.
Yeah, there's very wide shots. It's a great. I would recommend people to watch it. Although I was lukewarm to it, it's okay.
Does it insist upon itself?
I would say yes, it does.
That's funny.
I would say it does.
All right.
And Amazon makes a really big guest appearance.
Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon.
Is it like the second character of the film?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say character, more so just like it.
The presence is
the presence of Amazon is really like impending.
I wonder if they produced it. Wonder if they funded it.
Because it's streaming on Hulu now, so there's no way they would allow that.
No, yeah. Well, maybe they threw some money at it. Who knows? Because they could have done FedEx or UPS.
That's true too. Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, so your podcast is about 90 minutes, depending, because you spend. My favorite part actually is the first half. Because that's where you guys talk about news. You talk about, what you're watching. Like right now, you guys, I don't know if you're doing it so much, but at least one of your hosts, I think it's Joseph, is trying to watch 500 movies. What was it?
It's Peter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Peter, he's on a quest for watching 500 movies in a year, and he is well on his way.
So he's at 67?
I can't recall the number he was at, but
how is he choosing these movies?
That I don't know. I feel like he has. Well, I mean, he has a huge list of movies that anytime someone recommends him a movie, he pulls out his phone, puts it on the list. Like it's a huge list, and I also think he's going off of some other 500.
Oh, is there like a suggested list? Okay.
So I think he's like kind of just like bouncing back between that list and like his own choosing. But yeah, he's doing it.
I have to say, as especially, I definitely think it has to do with this past 12 months. My taste in films has dramatically changed.
In what way?
Well, I used to not mind heavy, dark movies. I could watch them and go, yeah, it's really good, but now it's like I get really anxious if I can still do horror. And of course comedies, but it's like if there's any kind of suffering, I cannot watch it. And it's crazy. And it was not like that before, but I think it's because real life is so much suffering. So it's like I have really reverted to watching stuff like really superficial shit. Or stuff I've seen before. It is definitely not a time for me to go out like this. The Nomad. Yeah. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch about somebody who went homeless. Oh, like that stresses me out, man.
But it's really not like as heavy as the subject matter like presents itself to it. It's I don't know how to explain it more than it's just kind of like you don't feel like bad for this person, or at least I didn't. But you're just kind of watching a story unfold. Like nothing depressing happens. Like I think the one of the most depressing things that happens is like someone dies. Like
that's not depressing.
Of old age though, not like. That happens in every movie.
It does happen. Well, anyway, let's see. So I'm really not a comic book film fan, but I have to say that I have been rewatching a lot of them.
Wait, what, you're not?
No, I do like them, but I didn't read comics past like the age of 11. I kind of stopped watching or reading, and so my love of comic book characters is primarily Batman. which is why I like the DC films more than Marvel. And Marvel, it's really confusing. Like, I'm watching WandaVision right now on Disney Plus, and they're bringing in characters.
Oh, yeah.
They're bringing in characters that if you're a diehard Marvel comic book fan, you're like going, oh my God, this is so great, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I thought she was just a witch. I didn't realize she's some iconic comic book character. So it's like, but I am enjoying those films because they're fiction and they're fantasy driven, and I'm not hating it. I'm liking him.
I will say the Marvel Universe movies are put together much better than the DC movies, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
But at the same time,
well, they're just dark.
I'm waiting for that DC movie to come out, and it's like, oh no, DC is we can be competitive now with Marvel. I think what Disney has that DC does not is that there is a level of control they give these creators that Disney gives them, and with DC it's very much studio driven, and I'm not a studio insider or anything like that, with you. But like just based on how these movies are planned and like how they're executed and directed, is very evident that there is a level of creative control released from Disney. I mean,
they let them really go nuts.
I mean, look at The Mandalorian.
Oh my God, I know.
They basically were like, okay, so you got this, right? Like, you're going to do this, and Jon Favreau. Yeah, he's like, don't worry. Don't worry.
and he absolutely took care of it.
There's probably like a contractual agreement, like if it's not successful or like up to snuff, like it's just like, oh, you'll be blacklisted. Like there's not even blacklisted. Maybe there's like some like castration on the line here. You never know.
You never know with Disney.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree with you on that. In fact, we were just talking before we started recording, is that the Zack Snyder cut of is it Justice League?
Yes.
Is coming March 18th to HBO Max.
4 hours.
It's 4 hours, but Hamilton was 3 hours, so we can suck it up and watch it. I know you didn't see Hamilton. I'm just saying.
No, I know.
But I love history, so that's why I liked it. It was really good. But what's going to be interesting about this Zack Snyder film is that he had complete control. So this could be the thing that actually turns around DC. If it's amazing, the fan outcry is listened to. And so it will be interesting if they go, oh, well, maybe we shouldn't be such assholes and let Zack Snyder just run the universe.
Well, maybe he has his head space in a correct place to where like he understands like his shortcomings with like I think he directed Man of Steel. He did Batman v Superman. I don't know if he did that or not, but both were they were commercially successful, but everyone had a problem with them. Whereas with like Infinity War and Endgame, people even I never watched the Avengers movies, but Infinity War was my first like Marvel movie that I watched.
The big blockbuster, yeah.
And it
blew your mind.
It was good just on its own. I didn't have to know what was going on. So I think that if he pulls through with the Justice League, 4 hours is a little concerning, but if he pulls through, like maybe he can salvage some sort of semblance of like organization in these DC movies. It
would just be nice if Warner Brothers would just give him the reins instead of hyper controlling. Well,
I think that's
product.
what they did with this now. So they're gonna see it. They're gonna see if that experiment works.
I hope it's good. I really want it to work. I want it to work so bad. I want the Joker to be epic. I want all of it to be everything, because I just love that world so much. Anyway,
and speaking of
HBO Max,
I do have a little bit of a list here for movies that are coming out this year that it's quite impressive that these are going to be streaming. The first one is already out. It's called The Little Things. That was directed by John Lee Hancock, starring Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. It's okay. I saw it. It's okay.
I do remember that just came out, right?
It's okay. I love the ending, so it's worth to watch the ending.
Before we move on to the next one, really quick, because I believe this was on HBO Max. Have you ever seen the movie called The Girl with all the Gifts?
No.
The Girl with All the Gifts. It is, it's got Glenn Close in it. She plays a doctor. Everybody else is English. So this is an English film, but it's basically about a virus takes over and humans are the host, and they are they're zombies. So it's literally a zombie movie.
They're zombies.
Except the second generation of these virus hosts were children who were in utero when their mothers were infected. The babies ate their way out of their mothers.
Oh my God.
Were cared for by the government and grew up. They are not zombies, but they are human eaters. They eat humans. They have the insatiable need. They have the insatiable need to feed, and they have to eat blood and meat. And so like this one
they're like
girl,
vampires almost.
Yes, except that you're human. You're a virus that is being hosted inside a human body, but you're not really human. But the ending is a massive twist because they take over. All the children take over the earth. And there's one human left, and she's their teacher. And she's teaching them how to speak because, except for the one girl, the rest of them are like little savages. They don't know how to talk. And so it is so freaking good, Tyler.
Wow.
It freaked me out. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. They killed them all.
I am sold on that. I will check that out.
The Girl with the Gifts.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Ooh, that's out.
That is already out.
Yeah.
That
was good.
It chronicles the tragic true story of the Black Panther Party leader Fred Hampton, who was assassinated by the FBI at age 21. Which
can you even imagine?
I can't.
That's Malia's age. That's crazy.
Tom and Jerry's coming out soon.
I can't.
February 26th.
No.
Yeah, I don't think Tom and Jerry really has a place in our society.
Do you think they're going to be as violent as the original film, the original cartoons?
No, they're not.
No way.
And that's the problem is because
Exactly.
Tom and Jerry was very much about like these like horrific acts of violence.
They were assaulting each other.
Yeah. But
with knives and things. Like it was completely different. Yeah.
Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, I can't
March
wait.
31st. That I'm
all in.
Cautiously optimistic about. I don't know if. Well, I actually, spoiler alert. Yeah, our show is going to review that movie when it comes out.
Well, did you see the most recent Godzilla?
No,
I did, and it was really freaking good. I was shocked, and I loved it.
Yeah,
You know what I love about those Godzilla movies, or the one that I saw?
Yeah.
The humans in it. They're the worst people ever. You hate them. You're like, I don't care if you die. But Godzilla lives, and that's all that matters.
The new Mortal Kombat movie is coming out on April 16th.
I saw the trailer for that, and you know me and my kung fu.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. It looks like Big Trouble in Little China meets Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, I think that they are going to get the Mortal Kombat movie right, because I feel like in the past they were trying to make like a movie universe, like a cohesive story, but it's not about that. It's just it's just about combat. And so yeah, they have to put a little bit of a loose plot to get the story moving, but at the same time, it's not about that. It's about Sub-Zero freezing a man's blood and stabbing him with it.
I will say this. You guys have a long-running discussion that comes and goes throughout your show about how video game movies are never successful.
Yes.
And I have to concur. I have watched, because I play World of Warcraft, I have watched Warcraft.
Oh, yeah. How was it?
Many, many times. And the first time I struggled. Second time, loved it.
Interesting.
Loved it. But I also play the game, and I recognized all the little, things that I see in my game. Like when somebody levels up, you glow and get real big. And in the movies, somebody does. And it's kind of cool,
So, someone who's never played Warcraft, would they find this an entertaining movie?
The acting is good. The acting's not shitty, and I
wonder why it did so badly here.
Well, I don't know,
it
but
was very successful overseas, but here it was no one wanted.
Well, the video game is incredibly successful in Asia. And so when Warcraft came out there, it was like Star Wars here. It just did not stop succeeding. And so, in fact, if you were to go there now, I'm sure it would be playing in a theater now if all the theaters are open.
The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It.
I can't. It's scary. I don't like supernatural.
Yeah, no. You know what's the most scary thing about this is the title. The Devil Made Me Do It.
That's dumb.
Oh my god.
It's like, oops, my bad.
Yeah, I do not care at all.
Are you going to have to review that movie?
No.
Oh, good.
No, I refuse. Unless my co-hosts are listening, they probably will punish me into reviewing it. But
no, I don't want you to watch anything demonic.
A new Space Jam is coming out. I didn't know this. Space Jam: A New Legacy with LeBron James.
That's right. I think we have to watch it together just because, Tyler. I feel like we owe it to ourselves for your childhood to watch it. Space Jam was one of your very favorite movies of all time.
That's true. No, that's absolutely correct. I don't know what more they can do.
I will say this will be,
especially LeBron James. He's not like the biggest basketball player anymore at this point in time.
Well, I will say this. I think Kobe Bryant's in it.
Kobe's in it?
I think so, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. Maybe, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't know if that's true or not. Rest in peace. Rest in power. Anyway, the thing is, this will be one of the first movies in your lifetime that they are remaking that was a beloved childhood film for you. Now, because I'm old as hell, that's happened a couple of times already.
Sure.
The one thing that hasn't happened, thank goodness, in my generation is no one's had the audacity to remake well, now I can't think of his name. Oh, my God. The 16 Candles, Breakfast Club.
What do you? John.
John Schmidt.
I can't remember now. Oh my.
What's wrong with me?
Well, no, it's
John. Is it John?
I think it's John.
I have to be kicked out of my generation if I don't know this.
No. I mean, we don't think about 16 Candles every day.
I don't. But I was going...
Yeah, John Hughes.
John Hughes. Oh, my God. I can't believe they haven't revoked my Gen X card from me.
Oh, yeah. Well,
nobody in Hollywood had the audacity to remake a John Hughes film. There has been discussions, and it always gets shot down. Now, this is not John Hughes. This is Space Jam. But you'll watch it and go, the first one was so much better. There's no one like Michael Jordan. Well, or Spud Webb or whatever.
I have watched Space Jam with my adult eyes, and I will say that it's a good kids movie, but it's really not that great of a movie.
Of course not.
It is.
No.
It is very peppered with a lot of advertisements. Michael Jordan,
like Wayne's World.
Michael Jordan is just like a stiff wooden board with his acting. Anyways, Dune. What? Yeah, Dune is coming out October 2021.
Who's in it?
We have here Timothée Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Stellan Skarsgård, Josh Brolin, Dave Bautista.
Oh, there's a good. Oh,
Javier Bardem.
Okay, Javier
Jason
Bardem.
Momoa.
Oh, wow. They've got them all in there, huh?
So apparently this movie is going to have a trilogy made.
Oh.
But, it's kind of up in the air now because this movie was supposed to be released in theaters, and that was kind of going to be the basis of, all right, so do we make 2 more movies of this? Mm-hmm. Which, if anyone knows Denis Villeneuve, he directed Ex Machina and Blade Runner 2049.
That was really good.
And they're just incredibly beautiful, lush movies.
So this will be too.
And this is his passion project too.
Oh man, this is going to be good. Actually, what would be nice is, films like this get Oscar nods or at least recognition. Although it doesn't matter because if they're good, they're good. But it is always nice when a sci-fi gets some recognition in the hoity-toity world of awards.
Yeah, they just, and I've said this many times before, general audiences are the scourge of the film industry. And so I feel like they have to really advertise it for like a general population because Dune is pretty specific.
It's almost like an art film.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it's in this movie had a huge epic budget, so it's like they're kind of have to bite the bullet and like make it appealing,
palatable. Yeah.
And then the last but not least, December 22nd, The Matrix 4.
Is Keanu in it?
Of course he is.
Well, he has to be.
Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss.
Wait, Carrie-Anne Moss died.
Did she really die?
In The Matrix? Didn't she die? She sacrificed herself so that he would live.
Well, she's in it.
Well,
She's the co-star.
Well, it's a computer. You can do whatever you want. I guess you can rewrite the code and make her come back.
Neil Patrick Harris is in this movie, too.
What the hell is he going to do?
I don't know. Maybe play a new Smith.
I'm here.
So, yeah, no, I'm excited for The Matrix 4. I love the Matrix movies.
Yeah, me too. They're good.
I think what The Matrix 4 is probably going to do is basically going to say, oh, no one actually died. That was just another level of The Matrix. So I feel like The Matrix 4 is going to be like, oh, this is going to be the last movie. Like,
Got it.
This is what happens. But, there's also like a philosophical concept of, because if you watch the Animatrix and stuff, you kind of think like, well, what are you going to do with a billion of unhooked humans?
Like, right. They're like veal.
Yeah, like the earth is essentially destroyed. There's no fertile land to grow food on. So I'm hoping that they tackle like that sort of aspect where like, oh, we can actually unplug all these humans and quote unquote set them free. But
what are they going to do?
Yeah, who's going to, take care of them? Like their reality is going to be ripped from their eyes. So.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so before we close, and we'll shamelessly plug your show again before we close, I was thinking about 3 really weird movies that I love that you might be surprised that I like.
Okay.
Do you have any can you think of at least 3 of weird movies that I would be surprised you like?
3 weird movies that you would... Well,
I would... Okay, well, here's my first one. My number one weird movie that I absolutely watch whenever it's on, Constantine with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. No, that's a genuinely good movie.
I love that movie from frame 1 to the final credit. I love that movie so much. Whenever it comes on, I'm obsessed. I love it so much. I love the guy who plays Satan.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Keanu, of course.
I really wish Al Pacino made an appearance in that movie.
That would have been hilarious.
That would have been awesome. But he played the best devil.
There was supposed to be The Devil's Advocate's an amazing film.
It is.
It's a really good film. I'm a little surprised that I did hear there were supposed to be others, like more Constantine films, and then nothing ever came of it.
Yeah, they just got lost.
That's okay. You know what? I kind of like that there's only one.
Sure, and
I mean he's a graphic novel. It's based on a graphic novel. So
I mean, they could probably do another one, but it would have to be really well crafted because I feel like Constantine is a movie of its time.
It's so good.
Like you can't release a Constantine now, but back then you could. What was that one movie? Oh man, there was the one where the Armageddon starts happening and all those demons start coming on Earth. Legion.
Oh, yeah. That's a scary movie.
Yeah, that's what I think it was released around that time too.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyways, what's the other movie?
Oh, well now I've completely lost my train of thought because I'm obsessed with Constantine now. I actually, let me think. Because the thing is the movies that I like, you would know that I like it. You know what I mean? You'd be like, oh yeah, of course, Mom.
That's not true.
Well, and what's funny is there are movies that you would think I would like that I actually don't like either. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Clueless. I mean, I do love it. I love it. But I can't watch it 100 times in a row.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
I don't know why that is, but it's true. I love the original Valley Girl from 1982.
Oh my God, yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
No. Well, I may have once, but I couldn't recall I know like there's like a whole like cultural thing regarding that movie.
Oh,
like,
God.
As far as
Yes.
like the Valley Girl accent and
Yes, and Nicolas Cage. It was his very first film.
oh my God.
He plays the guy from the wrong side of the tracks with him and his little buddy. That's a really good movie. If you
Okay.
haven't seen it, you should watch it for sure.
Yeah, I didn't know. I am surprised that you would like a Nicolas Cage movie. Like,
I know.
It didn't seem like
I
your
like Nicolas Cage actually.
it didn't seem like your forte or flavor. I
Well,
suppose.
he's gotten weirder as he's gotten older, but before that, he was actually really great.
Yeah.
He was really fun to watch.
Well, if you like weird Nicolas Cage movies, you should watch Wild at Heart.
I've seen it.
Oh yeah,
I've seen
that's
it.
a weird movie.
That's a weird fucking movie.
That is a weird movie.
That's like up there with what's the series? The David Lynch series. Twin Peaks.
Oh, Twin Peaks.
It's like Twin Peaks shit. Yeah.
Which I have to tell this hilarious story. I tell it to everyone because I think it's one of the funniest things that's happened to me. So
Okay.
one time I was in my apartment with my ex-girlfriend and we were deciding like, you know what, let's go out to eat. Let's like, do something. And I found this restaurant called Twin Peaks in our local area of Sacramento.
Okay.
And I went on their website. There was no indication that it was like a Hooters or anything like that because that's essentially what Twin Peaks is. And it was log cabin themed, like on the website.
So
like,
you're thinking, mountains.
there was no indication of, scantily clad women serving you or it being a sports bar. And I was like, oh my God, they have a Twin Peaks themed restaurant.
Like the TV show.
Yeah,
what if they have cherry pie?
I was so surprised, and then I was like, "Oh my God, it probably looks like a diner too." And they have served beer there. Oh, this is great. We got to go. And she's obviously just saying like, "I don't think so, Tyler. I don't think they would have a Twin Peaks themed restaurant
Here in the valley."
But I was convinced. I was convinced, and even when we pulled up to the restaurant, like there was two mountains looking like breasts, and I was like, "Oh no, that's probably a coincidence. That's just a coincidence."
Oh, you poor soul.
And then we walk in, and my shame and disappointment washed over me. Like,
Hi, welcome to Twin Peaks.
yep. And you know what? For the sake of irony, we stayed and ate there.
Well, of course you did.
It was overpriced, and
Was it good?
it was okay. It was okay. But, it was just, I was so sad because I
were so wrong.
I thought we were going into some diner, Twin Peaks themed. And no, I met with, and by the way, that restaurant is like angled in a way where you're always like looking down at these poor girls. And I was just like, this is so uncomfortable. I need a drink. I don't know what I'm going to do.
That's funny.
But yeah, other than that though, yeah, I don't know if there's really any movies on my part that you would be surprised that I liked. Maybe other than, because I really enjoy Clueless.
Yeah. Well, you're really open-minded when it comes to films. The other one that I really like is I really liked the Guillermo del Toro's film about the water.
Oh, The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Water. I actually liked it.
Where the girl falls in love with the fish man.
And then they fall in love and she gets fins and they swim away.
Oh, God, yeah. That was...
It was so bizarre.
It
was so bizarre.
After watching that movie, I was just kind of like sitting there just like, what did I just watch?
You watched a hallucination is what you watched.
I literally watched The Creature of the Black Lagoon, but him actually falling in love with the girl.
And actually taking her away from it all.
Yeah. It was a very strange concept.
I actually liked it because I thought it was filmed beautifully. It was dark.
And the makeup was incredible.
But it was so beautifully done, and I watched everything. I watched it all, and I went, well, this was bizarre, but I literally can't say a bad thing about it. Yeah. I mean, the acting was amazing. I just loved it all.
Have you seen The Lighthouse yet?
No, and I had a feeling you were going to ask me about it.
You need to watch it.
I'm going to watch it. Is it streaming anywhere?
No.
Okay.
You'd have to rent it.
But you have the DVD.
No, I only have the VHS tape.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that's right.
Wait, is this because you're doing this on purpose because you're a hipster?
That's not... I don't even know what that means.
Are you a millennial?
I don't... Yes, I am. But
I know you don't like to be categorized, but
I just prefer the image quality of VHS tapes.
Which is why you're going to be the guy with 400 albums one day.
That's not true at all. More like 400 tapes.
Oh, you're going to go mixtape?
No, VHS tapes.
What about movie? I mean, what about song, music?
No, I have my phone.
Oh, pardon. I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
I don't care much.
There are limits to it.
Yeah, I don't care much for physical music media, but when it comes to VHS tapes, that's
what you want to see. Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep that in mind. So you have a VHS player?
Yes.
Did I buy you that?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I bought that. But
thrift store galore, I'm sure.
I think that you should watch it because
is that your number one recommendation to the listeners? Is The Lighthouse?
Yeah. If you like The Shining, this is on par with The Shining.
Oh, it's scary?
It's not scary.
Or it's more...
The Shining isn't scary. It's more like thrilling.
Somebody gets their head cut off with an axe in The Shining. That's scary.
Well, what? No. What? There is no beheadings in The Shining.
Is. Yeah, there is.
No, someone gets hit with an axe, not a beheading, though.
I remember his head rolling off. Maybe that was my bad.
Yeah, but no, it's not even as violent as The Shining either.
And there's mermaids, right?
Yeah, there is a scary mermaid.
Ooh, sick. All right, I'm all in. All right, I will make that my goal. All right, so with that being said, middle class film class, you are on all the social medias.
Yes.
Under middle class film class, Facebook and Instagram, right?
Yeah, and Twitter.
And you have Twitter.
Yeah.
And then you're on every podcast platform.
Yes. Yeah, you can stream us anywhere.
Also, you will fall in love with them as soon as you hear it. So, if you want to buy their t-shirt, they have merch. You can go to the Uglee Truth merch page and click, and their shirt will be with their logo.
And I already know we've sold at least one of them.
You've sold a few.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's a really great logo.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, Tyler. Well, Tyler, Pete, and Joseph, yes. I hope that this helps with some downloads for you, some more downloads. You guys have a great show. Looking forward to producer Dub will be mailing his contention for the review of The Last Starfighter because he was offended by it. I know you tried to defend.
I did my best.
But, it's one of his all-time children favorites. So, as a kid.
It's one of my favorites, too. It's great
it
film.
is. All right. Well, thank you, Tyler, for sitting in.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.